You have been awarded a lot of prestigious fellowships. So what do you think the committee of those fellowships, where do they look most in the application of the applicant?
Yeah, so for fellowships, I think different institutes have different priorities, right? And depending on their priorities, they look for what they want. So if you are looking at ESO, let's say ESO fellowship. So when we say fellowships, fellowships are actually independent. Anyone who is exceptionally bright in their own research area, even if it is not relevant to that institute, right? It is likely that your position will be considered. Okay. At some places, what happens is that these fellowships come with some sort of service, right? Like ESO requires that you spend 25% of your time on either instrumentation, or you go to the observatory to work as an observational astronomer, or you spend time in outreach in ESO supernova or something like that. So even if you have a very good, publication record, your application is outstanding, you have to show that you are willing to get involved and spend some part of your time as required by those institutes for different activities. So all these fellowships, I think they are looking first of all for exceptional scientific talent, right?
Hmm.
What unique thing you bring to that institute, right? And how complementary you can make your science to available resources and facilities at that institute. So I think these are the three things that one has to show, and this is what the referees are, or the committee is looking for. That why should we hire this person? What is he bringing here? And okay, he's bringing something brilliant, but how is he utilizing our facilities to do that brilliant science, right? Often, a lot of time, what I have heard is that you can be a brilliant astronomer, right? But if you just sit in your office and write nature papers, some of these institutes will, or some of these organizations will not really appreciate that. And you can be a brilliant researcher, you work in your office, you're spending time with yourself, and you don't need particular organization, right? So the question again is why should we hire you, right? Of course, if someone is exceptionally brilliant, you want them to be at your institute. But I'm just saying that that's the kind of thing uh, all these applicants, or whenever you are applying for positions, you have to connect to these specific places. And again, I will give you the example that when I applied for example, for ESO fellowship and other fellowships, uh, during the interview, I was not asked even a single science question.
Okay.
So at ESO, the entire discussion was things like, uh, okay, some weird questions like, okay, if you find out your colleague is doing some sort of plagiarism, what will you do? Right? If you So they want to know what kind of a person you are, what kind of a individual you are, because if you have been shortlisted in 20 out of 250, that means they are happy to have any one of you as a researcher, right? You are already in the top 10, right? But you don't want someone who is completely cut off, who is just
I see.
doing that, whose sole aim is to just write papers, or very limited, narrow field, right? You want your with the individual, you want your institution to grow. That's the whole idea of fellowships. If otherwise, why would I give a fellowship? I would just hire a postdoc which is working specifically on my project, my problem, my
Correct,
institute's
correct.
problem. So the whole idea of the fellowship is that you bring someone who is exceptional, but he takes forward the institute and institute's facilities along with his research.